Aloha, everyone. My name is Timothy Tu. I'm the Economic Development Specialist at DBET. Thank you so much for attending today's a very special topic for our China market webinar series, which is the Alibaba Business Workshop. And we are featuring the Tmall Global, operated by the Alibaba Group. If you are looking for more information about the whole webinar series, we do have two more topics that are coming up. You can go to Invest.Hawaii.Gov and go under the Exploring tab to explore more. You can also find out different topics, webinars that we have within the High Step program at the website. Before we start the webinar, I would like to go over some housekeeping items. The webinar will be recorded for future use and playback. All participants are muted upon entry. If you have any questions for the panelists, please leave your questions in the Q&A box, and we will address the questions at the end during the Q&A sessions. Thank you again for joining us today. And now I would like to introduce Dennis Ling, the Administrator of the Business Development and Support Division and DBET, to give us a welcome remark. Dennis, please.
Aloha and good afternoon. Also, Chinese New Year is this Friday, so I would like to say Gungi Fa Choi to our distinguished speakers from Tmall Global and all the attendees of today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining with us. My name is Dennis Ling, and I'm the Administrator of the Business Development and Support Division of the Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism of the state of Hawaii. Today, we have a very special session on Tmall Global, operated by the Alibaba Group. As one of the most popular cross-border e-commerce platforms, Tmall Global connects international brands with Chinese consumers. According to its financial reports, the number of brands and merchants on the Tmall Global as of December 31st, 2020, grew over 60% year over year. As Hawaii's businesses has been hard hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, they are trying their best to find new channels and markets for their business. In China, the e-commerce platforms such as Tmall Global have become the preferred way to purchase products, especially for imported goods. I believe this session will be of great benefit to all attendees who are interested to grow their business into the China market by using a digital platform such as Tmall Global. We hope today's information will bring you much success in exporting your products to China. Thank you again for joining with us. Mahalo, and have a successful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. We are also honored to have Michael Block, the Manager of the Government Relations at the Alibaba Group, represent the Alibaba USA, to give us a welcome remark. Michael, please.
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you to Dennis and Gordon and Flora and Jamie. Everyone on the Hawaii team has just been wonderful to work with. We actually started speaking about working together over a year ago as we were planning to do a day-long event that would have involved trainings with different business units from the Alibaba Group. Our ecosystem is immense, so we would have touched on travel and tourism, business to business, as well as business to consumers platforms such as Tmall Global. And really excited that we are able today to discuss with my colleagues, Fiona and Emma, who are truly experts in this area, opportunities for business opportunities for Hawaii businesses. And just want to say thank you so much to the team from Hawaii, and we look forward to growing on the success from this webinar and looking forward to working with all of Hawaii's businesses across our ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Last but not least, before we formally start the presentations, I would like to introduce Jamie Long, the Manager of Business Development Divisions and DBET, to introduce us the High Step program. Jamie, please.
Hello, Timothy, and aloha, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this very important webinar. I just want to talk briefly about our High Step program. High Step stands for our Hawaii State Trade Expansion Program, which we are so happy to receive a grant from the Small Business Administration that helps to support this program. And the intent of the program is to help Hawaii companies to get more Hawaii companies to export and to also increase the dollar amounts of Hawaii-made products and services and get them out into the global market. So this webinar is just part of our overall program. The program has 3 integrated components, which include export readiness, of which webinars such as these are a part of, which help companies to learn more about export-related topics and particular markets. We also have our Hawaii pavilions that we conduct and take companies out to trade shows. Right now, that is on hold, of course, due to travel restrictions and events that are being done more on a virtual platform than in person. And our final component is our company assistance, where companies can apply for some funding to help them to implement their export development strategy. We do have, we are currently taking applications for company assistance, and you can find all of the information about our high-step program on our website, Invest.Hawaii.Gov, under the exporting tab. I encourage you to go there and to look at the information about our program, and to also submit a registration form so we can get some information about your company. So, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. But thank you again very much for joining us today. And now I'd like to turn things over to Gordon Zhang, who is the Director of the State of Hawaii office in Beijing. Gordon.
Thank you, Jamie. Aloha, everybody, and nice to meet you again. And as if some of you do not know me, well, I'm the director of the DBED office in Beijing, based in, well, it looks after, you know, government relations and providing business support to Hawaii businesses. We are based in Beijing, but we also look after, you know, whole China and Hong Kong. And in Beijing office, we have 2 people, and beside me, myself, and we also have Flora. And what we do for this series of webinars is that we were responsible for inviting most of the speakers. And all right, so that in the future, if you need somebody on the ground in China and to contact businesses or to make, you know, business contact, or even make inquire about travels and etc., you can approach me or, you know, Flora. If you need our contacts, and we will give you the contact information at the end of the seminar. And all right, I have the honor to introduce today's 2 more speakers, and they are both from Tmall, Alibaba Group, and well, they will, besides, they will talk about, give us an idea, you know, what Tmall, what the Alibaba is focusing on, and what platforms and tools and approaches they have for potential users. And they also speak, each of them speak from their area. For example, speak either from food stuff or from fashion, and walk us through to their platform and give us even some ideas of how to use them, how to make the best out of them, and some even price ideas. And the first speaker is Fiona Wen. She is, let me see, the category leader of food and home goods, Tmall Global. She's going to focus on Tmall Global business solutions for food and home goods. And now, without much introduction, let's welcome Fiona first. Thank you.
I actually think we lost Fiona.
Oh, we lost Fiona, okay.
This is Emma. I can jump in first.
All right, then let's welcome the second speaker. Anyway, they are both from Tmall, and the second speaker is Miss Emma Lee.
Yeah.
She is the head of fashion, the Americas, Tmall Global and she will focus on Tmall China market. And also she is going to showcase for some fashion category and how, we talked, a few times before this webinar, and we discussed how, what's probably are the needs of Hawaii businesses, and she will share her insights and views with us. Welcome, Emma.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you Gordon for your introduction. So I'm Emma. I'm based in California. I manage the fashion category for Tmall Global Business. So let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Hold on a second. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, there.
Okay. So here I'm presenting the opportunities for cross-border e-commerce in China. Quick overview. So I think Alibaba, I'll go at Alibaba. It's Tmall Global is the cross-border business solution within Alibaba Group. So our goal is to bring in $200 million of goods into China in 5 years. And China is one of the largest retail markets in the world. This past year, it brought in $1.5 trillion in China. And then the retail, it's very strong in the online presence. So last year alone, it was about 44% of the online penetration in China. And then the demand for global goods is very strong. So the global goods, it's currently hitting $184 billion in US dollars. And China right now is the top global e-commerce market that's making up at $2.1 trillion US dollars on the e-commerce sale alone. And I think some of the key data point I would like to point out on this slide is on the internet user. It's at 904 million internet users, and that number is actually bigger than the US population. And then we have 99% of the mobile users. Right now, the transactions on Tmall or on Taobao app, it's highly penetrated in the mobile users. And then another note I'd like to point out here, it's on the Chinese middle class size. Right now it's at 370 million and is expected to grow to 600 million. And this is just a quick transformation slide to show you sort of how the consumers has changed from back in 1970. This is Hangzhou, that's our headquarters of Alibaba back in 1970, and that's sort of the fashion sense back then. And this is the new transformation of what Hangzhou looks like now and the consumers in China now. So they're very, Gen Z, and they're very into sort of the hottest trendy items that's globally in the market. And this is just a quick overview of the Alibaba's mission. Our mission has always been to make it easy to do business anywhere. So on the slide on the left, we focus on some of the core commerce that has the retail commerce and the wholesale commerce. So where we are as the Tmall Global, we are the core retail commerce within Alibaba ecosystem. So here we have Tmall, that's a B2C business unit within the company. And we have Taobao, that's C2C. So if you think of eBay, if you think of Etsy, so that's C2C. So that means any individual sellers can be uploading the products onto Taobao, and then that can be servicing to the end consumers in China. And at Tmall, we focus on the B2C business units. So we work with business entities to sell into individual end consumers in China. And then we also have the wholesale commerce. So that's Alibaba.com that focus on B2B business units. So if you are manufacturers looking for buyers in China to buy as bulk as a wholesale business, then Alibaba.com will be able to connect you from Chinese manufacturers or also business units into globally. And then we also have the consumer services. So we have Cainiao, that's a logistics company. We have Alimama, that's a marketing service company within Alibaba Group. We have Ali Cloud, that's a technology infrastructure. We have Ant Finance, that's the financial solutions. On the right side, we have the media and the entertainment world. So we own Youku of China. So that's basically YouTube of China. We have Damai, which is the ticketing services. We have Alibaba Entertainment. We have Alibaba Pictures. So a couple of years, we produced Green Book. So we produce a lot of Oscar-nominated films within the Alibaba Entertainment world. We have TikTok. That's our communication app that you can download from the Apple Store. So this is what we sort of most known for. It's our Singles Day Shopping Festival. So that happens every year on November 11th. This past Singles Day that just happened 3 months ago, we brought in 74.1 billion US dollars. And that was 800 plus million participating consumers. Sorry, my slide is jumping. And 250,000 participating brands and merchants. That's about 470 plus brands, surpassing 100 million renminbi in GMV, that's gross merchandising value dollars. And United States is the top market for brands selling to China with $5.4 billion. And this is a sort of, we want to talk about how do you market to your consumers in the China market. Retail is really about entertainment in China. So it's really this whole social journey within our platform. So it's about sharing recommendation from your friends. It's about exploring, finding the latest trend. It's about sharing a lot of the short videos, live streaming. So live streaming is a very important marketing initiative, or it's a very important campaign that any brands to be successful in China. That's definitely something that's very important in the market. And then gaming is also something that, we focus a lot on the Gen Z consumer base. It's really about the whole entertainment journey within our Alibaba ecosystem. So this is something that we did in the past past couple of years. It's really about the sales and the marketing through the live stream channel, as I mentioned in the previous slide. So live streaming is really becoming one of the most effective sales and marketing channel and tool in China, and it's crucial to any brand success. So this past Singles Day, we partnered with Taylor Swift. So during the pandemic, Taylor had 2 albums launched within the US, and at the same time, we have a massive fan base in China focusing on, following Taylor Swift's, journey. So Taylor actually debuted her exclusive products on Tmall Global, specifically for the Chinese consumers. And then we were able to sort of introduce this product during our Singles Day campaign. And then we sync up with the #1 influencers in China to help sort of tell the Taylor Swift story around the Folklore album, and also debuting the exclusive merch on Tmall Global. And then we also did something with Magic Johnson during Singles Day. And then a couple years ago, we did Kim Kardashian's fragrance line through Singles Day campaign as well. So here's just a quick overview on the current fashion trend on Tmall Global. Right now, the business trend, fashion is making up 45% of the total business on Tmall Global. And the top selling fashion categories are in accessories. So there are handbags, sneakers, eyewear, hoodies, sweatshirts. It's very sort of casual streetwear focused. And the fastest growing categories are in the wellness apparel. So that will be sort of beachwear, yoga wear, any that's wellness focused. I think a lot of the products apparel within Hawaii state will probably resonate really well in the wellness category. So there's watches, belts, accessories, and fashion jewelries. Those are some of the categories that we're seeing very strong momentum right now in China. Here are just some of the highlights by category. I think as we mentioned earlier, accessories is very important. So some accessible luxury brands, including Coach, Michael Kors, they perform extremely well for us. And then some sort of sneakers is some of the categories that continues to be very strong in the China market. So we've seen during a live stream, one colorway of sneakers, 10,000 units were sold within one live stream. And then the customers are very focused on the limited edition. The customers are very sort of Gen Z. They look into that unique product that set them apart. So they not only buy into the basic items, they also focus a lot on the collaboration limited edition products. And then some of the rapid growth categories also in the ready-to-wear business. So that speaks to earlier on the Taylor Swift debut products. Her product was the #1 SKU when we did the Haybox campaign during Singles Day. And we have 4-digit year-to-year comp rate growth in the gifting category for the holidays. Here's some of the business solution that I want to cover on the fashion category. And I think later on, Fiona can speak more on the food category, how the business solution might be different in different segments. So on the fashion category, I think it makes the most sense is this business model that we focus on is the overseas fulfillment. So this is the key value proposition. It's 100% access to the Chinese consumers seeking for overseas products. It's the lowest cost market entry for testing the products in the China market. And this is a wholesale basis. It's on consignment model. So it has minimal sales operational cost. And it has a flexible settlement options. It's a weekly or monthly in your home currency. So that will be in the US currency. And it's also allowing you to have easy access to the inventory to be moving in and out with returns or exchange of the products. And this model has the warehousing consignment model versus, and as well as the API integration model. So that's more on the data and that's more on the data integration business model that we also offer at Tmall Global. So I think that's a quick overview on the fashion categories. Thank you. And then I'll kick it over to Fiona right now.
All right, thank you, Emma. I will take it up from here. Let me share my screen. All right, so thank you again for coming to this webinar. Emma has been talking a lot about China market and business solutions for fashion category. Now I'm going to talk more in details about Tmall Global as well as food category on Tmall Global, as most of our audiences here today are within the food and beverage category. So hopefully you can get more information on how to get started on our platform to get selling in China market. So what is Tmall Global? So Tmall Global is the largest B2C cross-border e-commerce platform in China. It's a very great channel for a lot of the new brands to test China market, as that has a lot of lower barrier compared to regular general trade business model in China market, and has different business solutions ready for you to choose from. Currently on the platform, we have more than 25,000 international brands from 92 countries and regions, covering more than 5,100 categories on the platform. So we give our audiences a large variety of choices to choose from, especially during this like pandemic situation. Consumers are not able to travel abroad, so they will be relying on the platform to get what they need from overseas countries. So that will be a very great timing for a lot of the new brands to test out China market at this time. A lot of people should have heard about Tmall before. So what's Tmall Global? What's the difference between Tmall Global and Tmall? So for this, so we're both the e-commerce platform on the Alibaba Group, but Tmall Global is more tailored for foreign brands as their first step, because we don't require a like China entity to start a business on the platform. So with the basic classic Tmall, you will have to have a company in mainland China. So that's how you can get to do business with Tmall in China. But for Tmall Global, you do not need to register your company in China market. You can just utilize your overseas entity to start a process with Tmall Global, and you will be like opening an overseas Alipay account directly in your home country in home currency. So you can get the business transactions out of the platform to your foreign bank account directly without like having your all the money in RMB stuck in China market. And also, we strongly recommend brands to register your trademark in China in order to protect yourself, but it's not a required from Tmall Global. As long as you have your trademark registered from your country of origin, that's good enough to go. So you can start a business while you get your trademark registered in China in order to protect yourself. And also, all the inventories will be shipping to a bonded warehouse in China, which is considered out of China. And it's easier for a lot of the brands to manage your product portfolio in order to optimize your product selection for Chinese market. And also, the orders will be processed and delivered directly from those bonded warehouse into the end consumer. While the traditional Tmall, you will have to ship all your inventories to a warehouse in mainland China, and all the shipping or the money transactions will be within China market. So that's a lot easier as Tmall Global can be more flexible for a lot of the newer brands to test out China market. And there are also benefits to do cross-border e-commerce. The first is that it's lower barrier of entry. You don't need to change your packaging at all. You can maintain your original packaging even though it does not have any Chinese wordings on it. So you can just ship them as they are. And also you can do a business with your overseas legal entity. That's very convenient for you to get started. And you don't need to pay for any duty for the products. All you need to cover is a sales tax, which is around 10% of the total sales value. So that's a lot benefit for the overseas for the new brands to get started. And also the country of origin, you don't need to comply with any CFDA regulations. All you need to do is make sure that your products comply with the country of origin safety standards. It means that you are allowed to do business here, to do all the production here, and you can ship the products to get started within the cross-border e-commerce to get selling. So that's why it's the ideal first step, since you do not need to take the extra efforts to change your packaging. You don't need to register a company in China. So that's a lot easier to get started. So these are some basic findings about our consumer base for the platform. Most of the those people born after 1995, they tend to buy more imported goods from the platform. So our audiences are getting younger. And also we are penetrating into more areas, more less developed areas in China market. So they are more eager to try out overseas products because they may not have the chance to get them directly from overseas countries. They may not have the time or may not have the extra funding to actually go outside. So they will be relying on the platform to give them what we have. So that's why we're expanding very quickly into different regions, countries in order to find the best product portfolios for our consumers. So these are the basics of our audiences. They are getting younger and they're penetrating into more less developed areas. Some of the food and beverage trends on the platform that we see in the past few years, of course, we can, the red wine, the liquor category is rising very fast on the platform. So we are doing a lot of the red wine as well as whiskeys on the platform. In addition to that, we do a lot of the olive oil. They are also very good products because consumers are now tend to buy more healthier products for themselves and to get a better lifestyle. And they are also willing to pay a premium price for the milk powder products from overseas. And we also do coffee, oatmeal, and also those infusion and functional teas in China market. China is known for its habit of drinking a lot of teas all day long. So people may think that, oh, they should have enough selections in China for different varieties of tea products. But consumers are more willing to try out different kinds, as well as they are willing to try the functional teas that they may not get, or the flavors that they may not get traditionally within China market. So tea is also a very good category on the platform. Others including like healthy snacks, nuts, dry fruits, as long as they give the consumers a healthier lifestyle concept, they are very popular on the platform. And also the consumers are willing to buy those products, not just for themselves, but also for their families. So they are willing to try out different kind of products and from different areas, especially when the country is very unique. Like for Hawaii State, so we may provide different specialty products for China market. They may have a better acceptance as well. So now I'll be talking about some of the business solutions that we have for food and beverage categories. Traditionally, the most common way to do business on Tmall Global is to open a flagship store on the platform. So that's a virtual storefront to house all your products for Chinese consumers. So it's operated by the brand on Tmall Global, and now we have Kaola as well. So you can have the opportunity to operate a store on both Tmall Global and Kaola platform, facing like more than 700 million consumers through the platform. And you don't need to worry about like, what should I do with the store, as I don't like understand Chinese, I don't write Chinese. You will be working with a local partner team for the store, and they will be working on all aspects of the store. Those trading partner companies are third-party companies, so they are vetted by Tmall Global. So we'll be giving you several recommendations based on your product portfolio, and you can consider their like cost, their fee structures, their operation levels, their service levels to pick the one that you think will be the best fit for the brand. And they will be working with you, with the brand, and with Tmall Global very, very closely for the flagship store. They will be running different like marketing campaigns. They will help to build brand awareness among Chinese consumers, as they are like marketing experts as well, and they work with different like influencers and reach out to their followers for to like establish the brand easily and faster. And they will be working with you on the logistics as well to help you like ship inventories in bulk into the bonded warehouse in China in order to enjoy all the benefits of cross-border e-commerce. So the flagship store is the most common way, as it's the best, the most efficient way to establish your brand awareness in China market, to tell this brand story behind it, and to educate the market like why you are so unique among all the other brands. So the flagship store will be the ideal way to do business for food and beverage categories on the platform. And now we have another solution is for the specialty store. It's a different, it's also a virtual storefront, but within that specialty store, you will be working with other brands as well. So it's not a single brand flagship store anymore. So you will be working with all the other brands and through a distributor type of trading partner for the store. So the trading partner will be the one to open the store and to run daily operations, and they will pick and choose the brands that they would like to work with for the store. So it's a mutual selection process. it's easy to get started, as you don't need to worry about all the logistics or the like administrations of the store, because the trading partner will be the one to run all that. And they will be basically purchasing the inventories from you. So you can just treat them as one of your B2B customers, and they take care of all the store from selling. But the drawback is that since your products will be listed together with all the others, even though it's less cost involved with the brand, you may not get enough attention from the consumers or from the partner, and they may not just run marketing campaigns for you, and your brand may be easily get lost among all the other brands that may sell better than you. So this is a like second choice if you do not have enough like fund at first to get started on the platform, and you would like to try out the market first. So you'll be working with your with that specialty store out first. But for that, you will have to find your distributor type of trading partner to work with. If you already have a distributor in China, if you have already had some small business going on, definitely we can double check with that distributor to see whether they would like to start this specialty store for you together with all the other brands they are doing. Or we may have to go through a matching process to see whether any of the trading partner would like to take on this distributor role to help you set up the specialty store. So that would be a more complex process, but it's also doable on the platform. This is a flow chart to get you more ideas of what the flagship store process goes. So you'll be working with a trading partner to do the bulk shipping from how I say, if you have warehouses here, to a bonded warehouse in China. So the bonded warehouse is where we like store all the inventories in order to get advantage of the cross-border e-commerce. The bonded warehouse is located along the coast side of China. There are more than 30 different bonded warehouses along the coast. You will be choosing the one that's closest to your target audiences. And the trading partner will be working with you closely to pick the bonded warehouse and ship the inventories into that bonded warehouse. And then they will do the store operation. They will help you do the selling, to do the marketing, and you will get a sale going on. And then the trading partner will be working with our logistics partner, Tmall, to do the last mile delivery. And then you will get the money transactions into your overseas bank account. So that's the basic flow of a Tmall Global flagship store. And for a flagship store, so that's your you 100% own this online storefront on the Tmall Global, and you will be working with a local trading partner for daily store operations, and they will help you build a brand awareness. They will help you do all the marketing, and you will be a very great one-stop brand hub to introduce all your product portfolios for Chinese consumers. And you can also do some customized products just for China market after you understand more about their shopping behaviors and what their preferences are. So you can always customize some of your products just for China market. And you will have a very strong database to help you analyze what your customer bases are, what are their shopping behavior and their preferences, so you get a better idea of how to get adjusted to China market. So that will be a lot like beneficial for the brand to do China business in the long term, since they have the like to have the database, they have all the information they need for their longer success in China market. So Tmall Global can be the first step, and then they can move on to general trade business after they know more about China market, the consumers, and when they are ready, that the product portfolio will be the best shot for Chinese consumers. So for a specialty store, the chart will be a little bit different. Since the trading partner will be the one to get all the inventories from the brand. So so the first two parts are the same. So they will be negotiating a terms between the partner and also the brand. They will decide on whether it's CIF or FOB term, what are the payment like net terms between the parties, and then the brand will just ship the products to the partner, and that's it. That's all the brand needs to do, and the partner will taking care from there. So they will be the one to set up the specialty store and help to do the selling and delivery, and they will be the one to manage the store. So basically, after the brand ship the inventories out, that's all they do. So you don't need to worry about like what the specialty store is doing, but you are strongly recommend to contribute some of the marketing fund for the partner to carry out marketing campaigns just for you, so your brand can get more attention from the consumers. As I said earlier, it's a second tier option for the brands, as it's not very helpful for a lot of the newer brands to establish your brand awareness at the beginning. So your products can be easily get lost among all the sales from others, but it's also a very cost-effective way. So we will be gauging around the pros and cons of those two different ways to help you decide which one to go. So for a specialty store, it's a direct sale to a distributor type of TP, the trading partner. So that's lower upfront investment for the brand, but it's kind of difficult to find one, since they will be the one to take on all those risks from the brand. So we will be do a matching process to see whether we can find any distributor type of TP that would like to do this business with you. But that's lower cost market entry to test out China market and the like assortment optimization for the brand to ship the products as they are to the consumer, so they can get started and see whether their products can do good or not through this very low upfront investment way to test out China market first. This is a brand showcase from South America. They are a very small brand here, but their concept is really good. They focusing on healthy products for Tmall Global consumers. It's the first brand from Brazil on Tmall Global, and they are doing quite well. They introduced a very unique Brazilian specialty products for Chinese consumers, and they worked with their local partner team very closely to carry out marketing campaigns with influencers, and they emphasize their quality, their nutrients and taste directly coming from the raw material. So they are emphasizing on like what a healthy lifestyle they can offer for Chinese consumers that help them establish their brand image to the consumers, to let consumers know that they are a health-focused brand and all the products that they offer are very essential for a lifestyle like theme. So they are doing quite well, even though they are a very small brand and they don't have that much like marketing fund for all those like marketing campaigns within China market, but they are still doing all they can, and once they establish their brand image, it's a lot easier for them to promote the selling in China market. So that's all that I would like to share today about Tmall Global and what's the business solutions that we have to offer. So I think we have a Q&A session afterwards, and if you still have additional questions, you can always email me at this email address. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma and Fiona, and thank you for our audience. And I believe we have much more audience today than usual, and so that's a signal that I think more people are interested in doing business through Tmall and through online business to the Chinese market. And I believe you must have some questions, and so let's come to the Q&A session. And I don't see any questions coming into the question box. Well, while we are waiting, and if you have questions, you can key in the question box, and we can invite our speakers to address your questions. Otherwise, you can try to talk to Tim, and yes. Well, I don't know whether this. Well, we have two questions already. One is, do you offer any brand registration assistance for China? I don't know who any of you three would like to answer this question. Do you offer any brand registration assistance for China?
So we don't actually do that ourselves, but we can recommend third-party law firms for brand registration. Yes.
Okay. How do you find a TP?
Yeah. So yeah, you don't need to worry about like going to China market to find any like partner team that you would like to work with. We will be the one to give you recommendations. So based on the product portfolio of the brand, we'll be matchmaking and like give three to five different trading partners for the brands to interview and make your final selection. So we will be the one to give you recommended partner like candidates.
Okay, next question is from Spencer. How would I begin to promote my products of 7metals.com for e-commerce of purchasing gold and silver? How would I begin to promote, and this is a website, my products of 7metals.com for e-commerce of purchasing gold and silver?
I defer to Fiona and Emma if there are other things, but really Tmall Global is focused on business to consumer. So it's really consumer goods is really the focus for this platform. I think in the accessories, in gold and silver, maybe there's some jewelry, if there's an element to that, but I turn it over to Fiona and Emma if there's anything else.
Right. I think as what Michael mentioned, if the gold and silver are finished goods, then they would definitely be on Tmall platform. But if it's to connect buyers on the wholesale basis, B2B model, then that will be on Alibaba.com.
All right. Well, apparently we have more questions today. What is, let me see, what is the estimated cost to work with a trading partner or a third-party consultant?
Okay, that do vary a lot. Different trading partner, they have their own fee structures, but generally it probably about like 8 to 10% of your total sales.
Okay. Do you need a trademark to work with a trading partner?
We do need a trademark to do business on Tmall Global. So that trademark will be from your country of origin. If it's how I say, that'll be the United States. You will have a US trademark in order to do business on Tmall Global. And when you do business on Tmall Global, you will need to find a trading partner. So yes, you will need a trademark to work with the trading partner.
Actually, at this point, I have a further question regarding this. As far as I know, that for all kinds of products entering into China, especially that are supposed to be sold to end users, you need a kind of packaging, labeling that conforms with Chinese, compliances. You just said that you can just, export the products from your country directly to a bounded warehouse. And then that means that somebody has to change the packaging, do the labeling and everything.
No, For cross-border e-commerce, we do not need to change the packaging at all. So we can just ship as they are. So if you have a box with like French and English labels on there, you can just leave them there. So we will be shipping as they are.
Okay, good, thank you. Next question is, there are tariffs imposed on a type of agricultural products like coffee, honey, and macadamia nuts. Do you see the tariffs being removed anytime soon?
So we can't really speak to tariffs. That's something that are decided by nations' governments. But what we do is we sort of help companies. We make it as easy as possible to do business across the world with whatever the rules are as they exist.
Mm-hmm. And for Tmall Global, since we do cross-border e-commerce, so we are not subject to tariff duty. Only we need to cover is the sales tax. For example, like we do business with Sunmade, they do dried fruits, which is about like 70% tariff duty if you go into general trade in China. But if that's why they come back to Tmall Global to do cross-border e-commerce, as they do not to cover that anymore.
All right, next one is how do you find a trade partner for the storefronts? And how do we contact you to get trade partners?
Yes, so yeah, you can send emails to us to introduce the brand, to introduce your history, to give us a like brand introduction PowerPoint so we can get to know more about the brand, and then we will decide on the next steps.
Well, if you didn't take a picture of, you know, they all usually put a contact information at the end of their presentation. You can always contact us, contact DBAT Honolulu or, you know, DBAT Beijing. We keep all their contact information. And yes, that's one way. And anyways, you can always approach Tim for contact. And also we keep a copy of their presentation, and you can do kind of a review and find the contact information too. Thank you. And next from George Fong and Aloha, how you start with the specialty store and then switch to Tmall Global flagship store later.
Yes, if you start with the specialty store and that's doing quite well, we can definitely open a brand flagship store later on. It's a easy process. So that will be a new process to get started, but that's the easy process to get started. We can talk more in details if you would like to do that. Yeah.
Next question is that we received a notice about Alibaba for the US manufacturers. Is this Tmall the same thing? We received a notice about Alibaba for the US manufacturers. Is this Tmall the same thing?
So it's probably not. Alibaba.com is the initial legacy business of the Alibaba Group, and it is for B2B trading. So it's likely Alibaba.com. If you guys want to follow up with me separately after this webinar, I can connect you and with the right people on the B2B team.
All right, next one is how do alcohol sales work on the platform?
So that's about the same as all the others. So we don't treat alcohol any differently. It's just when you probably have like temperature controlled warehouse to store the products, or you have any special requests that we can work with the warehouse directly. But all the like onboarding process will be all the same.
All right. Well, Georgie again, you ask, you know, am I correct? You said don't need to change label from English to Chinese. And that's what I understand. We
Yeah.
just answered, yeah.
You don't need to change the labels at all, yes.
And well, no more new questions at moment, but I have one actually. Well, Fiona just gave an example of a South American brand like food stuff entering into China. Do you have like a success story for American less known brand, or especially have you ever come across a Hawaiian brand that comes into China through Tmall or through specialty store or working with a partner?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've been working with a lot of these small brands here in US. Yeah, definitely, and there are quite a few on the platform right now. Even though they are smaller business, they are I think a well-established brand here in US. So they have their complete brand story to go with, and they have their focus on their marketing strategy. So they are very clear on what they do and what's the concept they would like to convey to those Chinese consumers. So they work with the partner team in China very, very closely and try to educate the partner team like why they are better and what they are doing well in US, that like the partner team can learn and probably do the same in China market, even though it's different. So they may need to adjust that way, like to have a more tailored strategy for China market. But we do like work with a lot of the smaller SME brands here in US. And I've been working with several brands from Hawaii before, but unfortunately they haven't been on the platform yet. So hopefully, like in the new year, I'll still follow up with them to have them on the platform soon.
Yeah, great.
One of my favorite examples is there's a company in Wisconsin that grows ginseng. And I never would have thought that Wisconsin ginseng would be so popular and successful. But they used to be a small business, but now they're at least a mid-sized business because of all the business and success they've had with Wisconsin ginseng. So you never know where these products are going to find success.
Yeah, that's interesting. And actually, to our Hawaii audience, well, Michael and Fiona and maybe Emma and Fiona, they all went to Hawaii many times, and they keep fond memories of Hawaii, and they know a lot of Hawaiian products, and so we have already have this kind of emotional bond, I should say, that they know a lot of Hawaii products, and they also think that Hawaii products, fruits or macadamia, whatever, stand out among the crowd, and we have very distinctive local features, and that's something that is important. And I have actually one question for Emma. You mentioned that in your presentation that you made $5.4 billion of sales. And that's for last year's Singles Day alone, or for the whole year?
No, that's just for the US brands. For Singles Day, it was $74 billion.
Okay. So do you have data, among the of all the sales for the Singles Day, about what percentage are from the States?
So it was $5.4 billion. That was the imported goods from US brands. So that's so that will be the number that's captured during the Singles Day period.
I see.
Imported goods from the US.
Right.
And for 2020, US companies sold over $50 billion of goods across the Alibaba ecosystem.
From your database, you can also track whether certain products from a certain state. For example, you can pinpoint as how much sales were realized from Hawaii.
I think that's something we need to go back to look into, but I'm not sure if that's any information that we can share externally. I think everything that needs to be published for us to share.
Okay, all right. Let me see whether we have no more questions, right, Tim? I don't see. Oh, well, there are 3 more coming in. My goodness. One more is do my product need to comply with Chinese health and safety regulations?
No, as long as you comply with here U.S. safety regulations, that's good enough.
All right. 2 years ago, we were Alibaba Gold member. Lots of interest, but no sales. Does Tmall offer something similar? 2 years ago, we were Alibaba Gold members.
So, so Alibaba Gold is a part of Alibaba.com, which again is the B2B platform.
Okay. So does Tmall offer something similar?
It's a very different model. So it's just a weird. It's difficult to compare. But so not really.
Well, this is more detailed. What is the average cost for a flagship store versus specialty store? Also, there are branded products. Do flagship store usually have one product, or do they have many products, like hundreds of products?
So for a flagship store, you can put all the products under this brand into the store. So it can be just one, it can be a lot more, like hundreds, but you may probably lose the focus. So you will be working with the partner to see how many products you would like to put on there at the beginning, in order to attract more sales from the audiences. But you can definitely list all your products under your brand. Regards to the average cost, it's very hard to say. It does vary between different brands. So we can like discuss later in details with them directly.
Yeah, well, I am a Tmall user. I'm a Taobao user. Well, it's like, under Kirkland brand, if we have a Kirkland flagship store, you have hundreds of products. But if we have, like Apple flagship store, you have only a few, different products like cell phones or tablets. And that's what I understand. I think that is the right answer.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Okay. No more questions. Yeah, no more. And it's about time. And it's a very good webinar. And thanks to our speakers for their time and for this webinar and for preparing this event. We spend a lot of time preparing for discussing and what to talk about and everything. And also thank you, our listeners, and welcome to either contact our speakers or our office or team for future business relations. Thanks all, and wish you a very happy day, and wish you a very happy Chinese New Year too.